Hello viewers, my name is Roleplaying and welcome to Quick and Dirty Roleplaying. In this episode, I'd like to talk about a specific story concept called a sequel and how to possibly apply it in a tabletop RPG session. I was recently watching a YouTube video where the author of the Dresden Files book series, Jim Butcher, is talking about making people care about your story. In the preceding video, he mentions that stories are composed of both scenes and sequels. Scenes are where the action happens, whereas sequels are where characters delve into the emotional and mental ramifications of the prior scene and how it changes them. In tabletop role-playing games, by and large, we focus on playing scenes out. Each character acts from a point of view from their characters, they have goals they want to accomplish, they have someone or something trying to stop them, not stomp them. And an outcome occurs after all is said and done. Then we move to the next scene, typically prompted by the question, what do you do? And on it goes. A sequel in a story is structured differently from a scene. It's called a sequel because it follows from what happened before. I'm going to use the same auto accident example that Jim presents in the video I mentioned. So first, there's always an emotional reaction to the outcome that occurred in the prior scene. My God, I can't believe that idiot just did that. Holy crap, my plates are out of date. Second, the character engages their reason and starts doing things like assessing the situation and reviewing things in the past that may have led up to this point. Am I bleeding? Is someone hurt? Is the beer bottle from last night still there? What happened to the other guy? Third, there is anticipation about what's going to happen next or in the future. My insurance rates are going to go up. What do the police do? Am I going to lose my job? Last but not least, the character makes a choice as to what they're going to do, which sets a goal for the next scene. So, the sequence of a sequel is emotion first, then reason, then anticipation, and finally, choice. To paraphrase Jim Butcher in that presentation, although not every point has to be addressed, when they are addressed, they should be done in that order. Doing this will mirror the psychological reaction that human beings have to circumstances in general, thus making the story matter more to the reader. So how can we apply this sequel structure in our tabletop sessions? Some games touch upon the break between action scenes with distinct non-action scenes. With Cortex Prime, there are recovery scenes. With Lone Wolf Fists, these are montage scenes. While the sequel process can occur in these non-action scenes, the purpose of the recovery scene or the montage scene is not to specifically address the character's emotional reaction to the previous scene, their reasoning, their anticipation, nor the choice that they make to set a new goal. I myself often default to asking my players, what do you do after a scene has concluded, which prompts for a new scene to occur, rather than reflecting on what has happened before or what is happening to the character internally. For some players, this is no issue because they mainly derive their satisfaction by playing out scene after scene after scene. For other players, especially those who like to explore their character's inner world, a diet consisting solely of scenes may not be enough, and a sequel may be called for. Sequels don't necessarily have to happen after each and every scene, but having a sequel for each character, or for the group, once or twice per session, gives them the opportunity to explore what their characters are emotionally and mentally going through. Rather than asking, what do you do? After a scene has been resolved, a GM can ask the following questions. What's your character's emotional reaction to how the last scene played out? What rational assessments are they thinking about as a result of the last scene that just played out? What are they anticipating as a result of the way the last scene played out? And what course of action will your character take, and what do they hope to accomplish? This will probably be a new experience for many players, and they may not have immediate answers to these questions. Help them explore these questions and provide examples in order to help them come up with solid answers. Help them think of their characters as real people rather than conduits to play out a power fantasy. Playing out a power fantasy gets old relatively quickly, while having an emotional investment in a character or group has staying power. Sequels also provide the GM more content to work with and to incorporate into the narrative that players are invested in. When your players are invested in the narrative, then you're doing a good job as a GM. So if you like this video, please don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe. If there are other facets you'd like me to explore regarding this subject, please leave a comment and keep it respectful. Last but not least, you can find the video I'm referring to down in the description. Take care, folks, and play to find out what happens.